welcome along to Would I Lie to You, the show where porky pies are the dish of the day every day. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, one of the best-known faces on EastEnders. David, it's a show about working-class people. Nina Wadia! And he's the star of Screen Wipe, News Wipe, Games Wipe, and for one night only, Would I Lie to You Wipe, it's Charlie Brooker! And joining David Mitchell tonight, his catchphrase on MasterChef is, cooking doesn't get tougher than this. Here's a man who's clearly never tasted Mrs. Bryden's Yorkshire puddings. Gregg Wallace! And a splendid actor who withdrew from I'm a Celebrity because he didn't want to eat kangaroo testicles or crocodile anus. He's going to go hungry in the green room tonight. Nigel Havers! And so to round one, it's Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, they've never seen the card before, so they've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to separate the facts from the fibs. Gregg, you're first up. Please reveal all.
I always make toast by ironing the bread. It tastes much better that way.
Lee, what do you think?
Do you apply butter pre-ironing?
No.
Well, that would be mental.
No, that would be crazy. Because then you are in danger, of course, of cooking the butter. You get a beurre noisette on top of your toast, which wouldn't do you any good at all.
He's good.
Is this the same iron that you use for the clothes, then, straight after?
You can use any hot, flat metal implement to iron the bread. You don't have to use an electric iron.
I quite often put a shirt in the toaster.
What other hot, flat metal implements do you have?
Well, you can get a spatula and heat it.
A spatula? That must take a long time to do toast.
Not a plastic one.
Oh, okay. I know the basics, Greg.
You can get a fish slice.
Why? Is this the kind of advice you give out on MasterChef? Never, ever eat up a plastic spatula. What's the bread on?
It doesn't matter what the bread's on.
Oh.
Normally a work surface.
So when you put the iron on, you're going to squash it a little bit, surely?
To flatten it a little bit and squash it a little bit is the point.
So
without getting your sweaty palm on it.
Bread is flat, isn't it?
Well, of course, it's not rolling hillocks, I know this. But it's also bouncy.
Bread isn't necessarily flat. If you slice it flat, it's flat. A loaf of bread isn't flat.
What are you doing, totally?
A loaf of bread, you say... No, but I mean, you can't say bread is flat. Paper is flat. Bread isn't necessarily flat. Bread's only flat if you cut it into a flat shape and then iron it, like anyone sensible.
If I was going to pick you up on anything tonight, Lee, and I'd like to think that I will, it would be how you pronounce the word topiary. Did anybody notice he went topiary? It was like a wonderful mixture of trimming a hedge and a little bowl you have of things that smell nice.
I say topiary. What do you say?
Well, it's topiary. It's not topiary.
So hang on. Whoa, just to backtrack. There's a man ironing his bread, and I'm being picked up because I'm saying topiary a bit like potpourri. Where the hell's David gone? Oh. I thought he was so middle class that I pronounced it wrong and he fainted.
I'll tell you what, I knocked a water bottle onto what I can only describe as a nest of wires.
And also, he was a little bored.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you were just trying to teach Lee how to speak. I mean, we could be here all night.
If you iron bread, would it ever properly toast? Wouldn't it just get very soggy and hot?
You could put butter in the steaming bit.
You could have a butter one and a jam one.
Oh, no, but if you put the jam in, then you're going to have the problem you have with a Pop-Tart, which is when you get a Pop-Tart comes out and you forget to let it cool down. A Pop-Tart is something that working class people have for breakfast, just before it's mentioned by anybody.
I'm about as working class as it gets. I don't know what a Pop-Tart is.
You iron bread.
I don't always use an iron.
What do you sometimes use?
I just told you.
A hot metal implement, like a spatula.
Yeah, or a fish slice.
How are you heating up the fish slice?
You could just put that on a naked flame.
It's just occurred to me that it's a bit like toasting on the Arga, isn't it? Because it's a hot surface. Similar.
Mind you, that is posh.
That's a posh thing. I suddenly realised. Have you seen an Arga?
Yes, I have seen an Arga. I'll have you know I've broken into some very nice homes.
What are you going to say, Lee? Truth or lie?
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
To toast bread with a fish slice, you'd have to get it up to such a temperature, it'd be like molten lava.
I hate to bring everyone, but the allegation is an iron.
No. He said that he also does it with
Well,
fish
that's
slice.
just chat you're having on your own time. The allegation is the iron.
Who are you, his lawyer?
No.
For the purposes of this, yes.
Come on, let's make a decision
Right, go
here.
on. What do you think?
I simply don't buy it because of the fish slice issue.
Nina?
I just can't imagine that he'd waste, like, 20 minutes ironing a piece of bread in the morning.
I don't think he...
Well,
How big is your bread?
You got a lie? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say a lie.
Saying it's a lie. OK, Gregg Wallace, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
It's a lie.
Ah, it's a lie.
Very well.
Yeah, Gregg doesn't make toast by ironing bread.
I thought that was... I made a mental note to try that.
Right, Charlie, you're next.
I once refused to pick up my girlfriend from the station because I couldn't bear to step over a spider that was between me and my front door.
David.
Was this out of fear or respect for the spider?
Kind of a combination of both. What happened was she rang me, and she was it was late at night, and so she wanted me to go and be a gentleman, walk her home. And so I had to tell her.
And you
I
were
wouldn't
prepared
come
to
again.
tell her that you were too frightened to walk across the spider to collect it from a dark station in the middle of the night.
It was a big
How
spider.
pathetic was that?
Listen, it caused a huge argument because I was refusing to let. She was saying it's that she didn't want to walk through the streets of London. It was quite frightening. At night, and I was going, yeah, but there's a spider. There's a spider here, which is real. You're scared of some notional threat. I can see one.
Get a stick or something, give it a little tweak and it'll run away.
And he has faced spiders in the jungle. And Lembit Opik.
We still don't know how she got in, you got out, and then what happened.
Well, obviously I was scared, so I dropped a Yellow Pages on it. I kill spiders without any
With
conscience
only
at all.
hours and hours of terrified hesitation.
David, which way are you leaning?
Could be true, but that's so often the case
I think
on
it's
this game.
a complete lie.
You think it's a complete lie?
Yeah. If it's true, I feel very sorry for Charlie, actually.
Because it's so
pathetic.
Just openly pity me, for
I
God's
hate
sake.
it when there's so much riding on whether something's true or a lie. It's easy when it's just the game, but now it's your whole view of Charlie. What do you think?
A lie.
You think it's okay? We're going to say.
Say a lie?
It's a lie.
OK, David's team think it's a lie. Charlie, were you telling the truth or were you telling us a lie?
It's actually a hideous truth. I'm genuinely paralysed by fear when I encounter a spider. They're not natural. I know they are natural. You know what I mean.
I don't like spiders at all. I would sort of agree with you, Charlie. They are basically monsters.
Yeah.
But fortunately, they are tiny. I'll tell you what spiders would scare me. The spiders that kill you in Australia. The spiders that hide in toilets and bite you on the arse just when you're at your most relaxed. And you don't see them, you die happy.
You die happy.
The moment of relaxation, the glorious moment of ingestion, and then all gone.
Can I ask you, David, is that the only time you truly relax?
Even then, I don't truly relax.
Yes, it's true. Charlie did refuse to pick his girlfriend up because he couldn't step over a spider on the stairs. The best way to get rid of a spider is with a glass and a piece of cardboard. You put the cardboard over the spider, then bash it to death with the glass. Nigel Havers, you're next.
Right. I once went on a date with a flamenco dancer who turned out to be a man.
Oh, Lee, this is ringing bells for you, isn't it?
This reminds me of the time I was a flamenco dancer and I walked around in well, OK. First of all, when was this?
I was 15, 16.
You knew that this woman, as you thought she was at the time, was a flamenco dancer, did you?
Yes, well, yes, I'd seen her dance.
Oh, and that's what attracted you to her when she was dancing?
Yes.
Oh, so tell me the story a bit after you see her dancing. Where did you see her dancing?
I was on holiday.
Where?
In Spain.
Spain?
It's
Spain, actually.
You were on holiday with your family, were you?
Yeah, family.
OK, so you're watching the flamenco dancer.
Yeah.
And she's how old?
Young. I mean, 18, a bit older.
So she's about 18?
Yeah.
And so what happens next? So you're watching her dance in a show, I guess?
I was watching her dancing, and I thought I would ask her out.
And she said yes.
Just so you know, mate, I don't kiss on the first date. Now, I'm not messing about, these are the ground rules. You can kiss, but no bollock grabbing. And there's no clues. And how do you make first contact? Where was she when you asked her out for the first date?
In the hotel we were staying, actually.
So you just went round to her room, you sort of tapped on the door, she got confused and started dancing. and then she opens the door and she says, "What can I do for you?" Take it from there.
She's smoking. You've got it this time. You've got a pipe. You've got a
No, she's very classy. She smokes the woodbines outside and the pipe behind. So you're on the date. At what point? How long is it before you find out she's a man?
A couple of hours.
So 2 hours. And how does this come about? Was it during a fumble or a conversation?
It was...
I mean, that is the interesting question.
I think it'd be first I'm speaking on behalf of the group. We're all thinking...
At the urinals?
Just trying to remember.
You don't mind if I stand, do you? Oh, sorry, she's out, isn't she?
We were on the dance floor.
You're on the dance floor doing a flamenco?
No, just dancing, quite, close.
Slow down.
I see where this is going.
Something came between us.
So what did you do, Nigel? You kind of went,
I went, whoa! I went, whoa! That's like that. Then I left immediately.
What do you think, Lee? I mean, it's a harrowing tale for the young lad.
I think Nigel's a very nice, polite man, and you can imagine what he was like when he was 16. Probably even politer and possibly a little bit shy at 16.
Possibly.
I think he'd have just been too... He'd have just gone through with it, because...
I don't buy that you would be able to ask somebody out and not twig that they were a man.
What about you, Nina? What do you think? You're a woman, after all.
Yeah, hopefully. It's the kind of thing that happens, I think, to a lot of actors where you get confident when you're a lot younger. So I imagine that actually something like this could have happened.
It's true.
I do.
What's it going to be, Lee? Truth or lie?
It's a lie.
OK, you say it's a lie. Nigel Havers, truth or lie?
Well, it's the truth.
Yes, it's true. Nigel did go on a date with a flamenco dancer who turned out to be a man. So, at the end of that round, David's team has 2 points. Lee's in the lead with 3 points. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. So please welcome this week's special guest, John. Right, Charlie, we'll start with you. How do you know John?
This is John. On Valentine's Day, when I was 17, I presented him with a dustbin for his daughter.
Nina, how do you know John?
This is John. He was the first person ever to have a drink at the Queen Vic, and the first person ever to have a curry at my restaurant, the Argy Bargy.
And Lee, what about you?
This is John, and he is the previous owner of my house who still pops round with his deck chair so he can sit in my garden on sunny days.
All right, so there we are. David, where do you want to start?
Ooh. Well, Charlie, this is quite a complex series of events. You presented him with a dustbin on Valentine's Day when you were 17 for his daughter.
Yes. I intended to give the bin to her, but she wasn't there. So I gave the bin to John.
What was the name of his daughter?
Ted Rogers.
Catherine.
Catherine. What sort of bin was it?
Like a big garden bin. OK, I thought it would be a funny Valentine's gift was to give a bin.
Because it's so unromantic.
Yes, but that's the clever ruse, you see. If you're a bit, you're a bit unsure of yourself, so you don't want to give a Valentine's card that says, I actually fancy you. You want to give something that sort of could make you look a bit mad.
What was that? Was there a note with the bin saying a poem?
I put her initials on it. You could get these sort of gold initials. You can.
You can ask for a bin to have like nice gold initials or a something nice sentiment written on it. Can't you? A lot of companies do that to bins.
Don't be facetious.
Sorry,
I've stuck the letters on myself. You haven't got a shred of romance in you.
What was it? Was it wrapped? Did you wrap it?
No, I put a red bow round
red
it. Romantic red bow.
No, you
don't mock what happened. I was really nervous that day.
Yeah.
I was really...
I can imagine while you were nervous, you were probably thinking, I don't know, is the bin the right present? I think any girl would love a bin, but you can't be sure.
Oh, I'm glad my torment amuses you so much. You nasty little man.
Let's move along now, I think, to someone else.
Yeah. OK, so, Lee, why would you let the previous owner of your house still come and sun himself in the garden? Don't say it's because you're kind, because I know you.
What's wrong with his garden?
That's a sad story. When he sold us the house, he hasn't got a garden anymore.
Does he live on his own?
He does live on his own, in a flat.
And he keeps a deck chair just for the purpose of visiting your garden?
Yeah. Well, because he used to come round, and then I found out that he loved the garden, and so I sort of said, well, come round if you want to, if you want to come and sit in my garden.
Sweet, but it's bollocks, isn't it?
Why don't you let him leave a deck chair there?
I don't tell him he has to take the deck chair, but I don't know, maybe he hasn't got any furniture.
Nina, remind us.
Sure. John is basically a supporting artist that has been there since day one, 25 years on EastEnders, and he's known as being the first of everything. So he'll be the first who had a drink at the Vic, he's the first who has been in the laundrette, he's the first who's kind of done any set.
And also, you say he was the first person to eat in...
To have a curry since the Masouds have owned the Argy Bargy.
Well, that's very... that's very plausible. Yeah. But at the same time, could have been made up.
Can I just check something? What, is he the first in every... Well, he's not. He's the bloke that comes to my house and sits in the garden. But if he wasn't... is he the first... Imagine he wasn't, right? The bloke that sits in my garden. For a minute. And he is. But imagine he's not. Right?
It turns out you're telling the truth.
It's a great
This is one hell of a ballsy double.
Is he the first? In every set? Is he like in Doc Cotton's cupboard? Is he just stepping out? Or you mean in the public sets?
No, in the public sets.
So, David, is John Charlie's dustbin dad, Nina's EastEnders extra, or Lee's friend with a deck chair?
Do you watch EastEnders? Do you recognise this guy?
Has anybody been in my garden?
It's definitely not Lee.
Charlie's is so ridiculous.
Well, I don't know,
it's so absolutely up his road, isn't it?
Charlie became so heated in defence of his romantic actions.
Too passionate about it, really. Bless.
That's what emotions are like.
Yeah. Terrible thing to get back in touch with the father of someone you were infatuated with years ago and who you gave a bin to. I mean, it's possible, but it's a lot easier to get in touch with the regular supporting artist on the show that you work on.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Come on, then. What are you going to say?
OK, Nina.
You're going to say Nina is telling the truth. John, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm John, and when Charlie was 17... He presented me with a dustbin for my daughter on Valentine's Day.
Yes! And Charlie, John has a present for you tonight. You haven't seen it for 23 years, and I'm serious, it's here tonight, the actual bin. And there are the initials on there. Charlie, you old romantic, you.
So there, you cynics.
Thank you, John. Well done, Charlie. Which brings us to our final round, quick-fire lies, in which our panellists lie not only through their teeth, but against the clock. We will start with... It is Lee.
Every Sunday, I treat myself to a relaxing bath with 3 squirts of furry liquid in it.
Why?
Because when I was a kid, we used to use a bit of furry liquid if we'd run out of bubble bath. And so...
Yes, I can believe that, but then you decided, in fact, why do we need the bubble bath?
But why only on a Sunday? You shower the rest of the week and bath on a Sunday?
Well, I'm old school. There's nothing wrong with an all-over flannel wash. Under the armpits on a Monday, down below on a Tuesday, feet on a Wednesday, knees on a Thursday. This is like a really dirty version of a Craig David song.
So you ran out of bubble bath many years ago and have never restocked?
No, not true.
What happens when you run out of fairy liquid?
I run out of bubble bath all the time, and I'm always restocking on a Monday.
How can you run out of bubble bath if you only bath on a Sunday?
Don't tell me you... Because you said you showered the rest of the week.
Yes.
Bubble bath
This
in
is
the
Rich
shower.
coming from a man who irons bread. I stick it on a bit of liquid soap on the flannel, under the arms on a Monday.
You put bubble bath on a flannel?
You're telling me you've never used bubble bath in a shower because you've run out of soap? That's all the time. Liquid soap.
Well, no wonder you keep running out of bubble bath on a Sunday.
You're just like my wife. In many ways.
David, what do you think?
I don't think this is true.
Greg?
It's cobblers.
It's a lie.
We think this isn't
It's
true.
a lie. Well, Lee, here's your chance. Truth or lie?
Well. Here we go. It is, in fact, a lie.
Next. It's David Mitchell.
My parents recently forced me to have a new kitchen fitted because my flat embarrassed them.
Lee.
How bad was the kitchen?
It was... I considered it adequate.
That good. Come back to mine, darling. I've got a very adequate kitchen. How would you describe the old kitchen?
It sort of had plasticky units that some of which I like to make them into personalities.
Hello, Brian. I've had a really lonely day.
Exactly. Brenda, where the pans go.
Hello, Tommy the Toaster. Done anything today? No. Ian the Iron seems to be getting... So, your parents came round. You feel that the kitchen's not really too bad?
They were sort of very unhappy about it, and ultimately they said, look, we really think you should do with this. We'll deal with the admin if you pay.
But you're a creative mind. I mean, you must have given them a steer as to which way you wanted it to go.
Describe a creative kitchen design steer that you imagine someone like me might have given.
OK, you may have said, I want an island in the middle, I want an Aga and a traditional
not a god.
electric.
I'm not making a planet. An island and a lagoon.
An island.
I want dragons in the north.
What's the new kitchen like?
It's plain. There's sort of, I think, sort of cream units.
Have you been a kitchen salesman long, sir?
What's the most complex thing you do in your kitchen?
I think worry about death.
So what do you think?
What do you think, Nina?
I think he's lying because his eyes go really big when he lies.
He also does that when he's aroused, though, so... What do you think, Charlie?
I think that's got the ring of truth to it. Because I imagine that David probably doesn't really care about his kitchen, but that other people do. Look at him, it's the truth.
OK.
You're going to say true?
Go on, then. I'll say it's true.
True. OK, David. Truth or lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Next. It's Gregg.
Possession.
Right, there's a box under your desk. Greg, would you
Crikey!
pop it on top of the desk, take out what's inside, and then read the card for us?
This is one of my history books. I read them in the sauna to make them look old.
Lee, where would you like to start?
Why'd you try and make them look old?
I think they're more attractive that way. I like them all bashed up and old looking.
Where did you hear about this, that if you read it in a sauna, it actually ages nicely? It's like...
Well, I didn't. I just took the book into the sauna and I go to the gym. I try not to be fat. I like the sauna as well. I read I'm in the sauna and the books get aged.
Are you naked in the sauna?
Oh, yeah.
You're naked with a book?
It's difficult.
Hang on.
My glasses.
Your glasses. How can you read with steamed up glasses?
Well, no, I don't wear my glasses. You just...
Well, how do you read then?
Well, I hold the book up. That's not the problem.
Oh, so now you're naked and you're doing that? do you ever do this when the bloke sits opposite you? Here we go. Can I have a look at the book?
I don't mind.
Yeah, OK. Would you like to pass the book over?
Let me have a look at this book. Thank you very much.
Do you need help with the big words?
No.
No.
Do you need help with a Harry Hill impression?
Does it smell like a sauna?
Oh, it smells of something. It smells of... Well, it does. It is aged, and I tell you what it is. It's aged by dampness. That I know. Sorry. There's a phone number in the back and a bloke's name. It says Tony and then a bloke's phone number. What the hell's going on? What? Who's Tony?
I don't know.
Oh, you slag.
I don't know.
Right, Lee. Is he telling the truth?
You're saying...
I'm saying lie.
You're saying lie.
I think it's a lie.
My team say lie, so I'll go with the lie.
So you're going to say lie?
Yeah, go on.
OK. Greg, truth or lie?
Well, it is the truth.
It's true. Greg does read his history books in the sauna to make them look old. And that noise signals time is up, and it's the end of the show. And I can reveal that in a closely fought contest, it's a draw at 6 points each. But of course, Would I Lie to You is not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week this week is Nigel Havers. Yes, Nigel Havers, who's displayed the sort of duplicitous behaviour that's kept the upper class in power for the last 1,000 years. Good night.
Would I Lie to You is back on BBC One next Friday night at 9:30. Well, on BBC Two in 10 minutes, the topical quiz with a wicked streak. It's Mock the Week.